Cancer, this is your tarot reading for the month of May. Like everybody's, it looks to be a sort of a mixed bag, but overall I think it's quite positive, as indeed most people's are. The overall energy, that middle card, Ten of Wands. Yeah, you might feel like you're carrying the burden of the world on your back. You might feel like you're struggling, but equally you know that it's nearly coming to an end. You're nearly there, and that must be a great feeling that you're nearly there. You've been sort of, what can I say, you've been looking for things, you've been searching out. There's a certain bravery to you. Yeah, a certain bravery to you. This was the past, but yeah, you were searching for something, and it could have been to do with material things, and I think that's probably why you're now feeling a conflict. There's a conflict, but I think it's an easy resolvable conflict, if only you could speak and talk it over with people. Certainly, and if we are talking material things, this would make even more sense. Things are coming slowly to you, and they will continue to be slowly, but you've got a quiet determination. A steadfast determination, which makes me think you're going to get there. However, there is the suggestion of an unhealthy attachment. No idea at this stage what that's to. We've been getting this in May for a few signs, and so far it's not been too disturbing, even though this rendering makes it look very disturbing, doesn't it? To a certain degree, if you can just say, well, I've sort of been here before, I know what's going on, I can deal with it, I think maybe you can get through it. What this addiction, if you like, or this unhealthy attachment was going to lead to is you needing to work with others to find solutions. Well, that seems like a sensible thing to do anyway, doesn't it? So, yeah, I think this is a message of perseverance, but let's look at it all, eh? The overall theme and run through this month's reading, I think is very telling indeed. Ten of Wands, carrying an immense burden. Maybe it feels like you've got the burden of the world on your shoulders. It's been a bit of a struggle, and it's still going to be a little bit of a struggle, but you've got great hope because you know you're nearly there. And that really is what this rings out in this whole reading, and this runs through it all, that feeling that you're nearly there. Yeah, you're going to make it, but yeah, you may have some turmoil, you may have some struggle. And that seems to be everybody's sign so far during May. So I can certainly understand it, Cancer. And in the past, you were sort of looking for something. I think it was material wealth or blessings, I think you were looking for something. There was a certain braveness about the way you were going about it. Fearlessness. Even entering into the unknown. But I don't think you quite knew where what you wanted or why. Just maybe a determination to have more. I'm not sure. This seeking maybe material wealth has led you into conflict with others. I think it's a conflict that actually, if you chatted it over, you could resolve. I don't think it's a major conflict. But it might feel like that. It might feel completely unresolvable. Magic, business, economics, politics in Indonesia. There's no real concept of Keynesianism. There's no concept of the cake getting bigger that we will all share in it. The only concept is that you can only get rich by taking from another. And that's the sort of conflict that I see going on here. Maybe if you could explain Keynesianism and growing the cake, people would understand, because everyone just wants more. And if you can work together to create more, then what's the problem? I've not used the word money, I've used materialism and I've used wealth. But we've got another indication that this is about that. And it's happening slowly for you. But you've got a great determination, a steely determination. You'll carry on doing. Albeit it's moving very slowly, and it will after this month. It'll still be slow. But you are getting there. And if you remember, the overall theme is, it's a bit of a struggle. But you know there's an end in sight, and this is it. You've got that determination. Now, I think what could upset things for you, or maybe not, maybe you've got to go through this, but it is that you have something of an unhealthy attachment. Now, I suspect it's towards money or towards material things, towards luxuries maybe even. I don't think you're a greedy person. I don't think you're a bad person. I think you've just got different perceptions to others, and you're quite strong in your perceptions. Now, I don't know how many of you know of the magician Jason Louv. He's a very, very nice, very good to listen to, but I find myself completely disagreeing with him on so many things. And, the reason is he's American. It's as simple as that. He's from California, and he has a completely different value system to me. Even though on the face of it, we would seem very much alike, I find myself going, no, you're completely wrong on this. And if we were to talk about materialism, that would be one of the issues where he and I would diverge so much. He would probably believe that he has a right to the joys of life, a right to the consumption that most of us Europeans feel is a little bit sordid and dirty. And it's that sort of a thing that I think's going on here. I've just spotted this Seven of Pentacles, which changes things. And I think I need to put a different slant on it. It is about long-term investments. So if you can see investments as long-term, take a more balanced view. And maybe the devil energy is a short-term view on things, and that's what leads to conflict. So if you can take a longer-term view and watch these different investments come along, things would be better for you. Yes. Certainly this year we're going to see quite turmoil in terms of investments. Now, I'm not giving you financial advice, but if you're taking a short-term view, you'll probably get caught out. But if you just say, well, they'll bounce back, I think you'll come off quite nicely. As I say, if you take that long-term view, then things change. But if you don't, and you take the short-term view, which is the sort of unhealthy attachment, I think, then you're going to be forced to work with others. And if you remember, there was that conflict, and I said, if only you can talk it through with others, you can work things out. So maybe it's no bad thing that you have to talk with others and work things out, but if you were a bit more stoical, you might not need even to do that. I think we need a little bit of clarity. Have I got this right? Yeah, I want clarity on this devil card. What is it that you've got an unhealthy attachment to? The first thing we have is celebrating. Unhealthy attachment to the high life, maybe. The next card is a card of being a little bit mean with money. Well, that is what I thought it was. And the final one is blessings. Multiple blessings. So, although you might be being a little bit mean with money, you might like the high life. I think you do like to share. I don't think you're greedy. That's my candid feeling. Let's look at each individually. I'm seeing something a little bit different in these cards now. Yeah, this first card, this Four of Wands, yes, it is about celebration, but what I think it's about is creature comforts, being used to things in a certain way and liking it, wanting a hobbit lifestyle, really. And we're going through such turmoil at the moment that I'm not too certain that we can select this hobbit lifestyle that don't bother me, stay with my family, keep it close, you know? Yeah. You're wanting to keep things together, to keep, to have a comfortable life. And that's becoming increasingly difficult for you. And you're probably going to have to release it a bit. And indeed, work with others, people outside your immediate family. Now, are you miserly? Well, yes you are, but it's a sort of a miserly of charity begins at home. It's a sort of miserliness of what are all these dwarves coming to Middle Earth for? Taking jobs that hobbits could do and stealing our women, which, can lead to pretty nasty situations, that sort of attitude. But I don't think you're fervent about it. I think it's just in the back of your mind. You want your slippers, you want your pipe, you want your comforts, and you don't want to be bothered with anything else. But your somewhat conservative attitudes are going to be challenged. And yeah, you're used to having blessings. I don't think you're a bad person. You get blessings because you're used to a comfortable life and you've attracted comfort, and that's what you enjoy. But these are difficult times. Times are going to have to change. I mentioned to another sign, I don't know what it was, but I'm currently trying to sort out my pensions, and needless to say, it's not at all easy. But one of the biggest problems I have is that Royal Bank of Scotland closed my bank account, and I think it's going to result in me losing tens of thousands of dollars. And what can you do but be stoical at times like these? Because there's nothing else you can do about it. And I think that's what's going on with you. You're used to your comforts, you're used to ways of doing things. But the world isn't half trying to pull the rug from underneath all of our feet, and it is affecting you. Cancer, you're experiencing somewhat turbulent times, difficult times, but you do know an end is in sight, and believe me, it is in sight, and you've got a dogged determination, and you will see it through, don't worry. But there are challenges, there are. Have you been seeking out material comforts? I think you have, but it's in a very hobbit type of way. You like your pipe, you like your slippers, you like your fire in your hobbit house. You're one of those who believes that charity begins at home. And all of these things are being somewhat challenged. You're finding it more and more difficult to shield yourself and your family from what's going on in the world. And this is leading to conflict with others. I think the conflict's easily resolvable if you talk it through with them, and I think you do get forced into having to talk it through with them because of, you're not going to have this comfortable life that you really desire if you're constantly arguing with others. You just wish they would go away, but they won't. There are other people in the world. Other people who aren't hobbits. Other people who maybe have different religions, different values to you. And they won't simply go away. And you're going to have to talk to them. You're going to have to compromise. You're going to have to think things through. One way of doing it, which I think would avoid a lot of conflict, is to take more of a long-term view of things and to say, well, I've lost a bit of money there, but, maybe I'll gain a bit here. Or if I take a long-term, things will work out okay in the longer term. And maybe that's what you need to be doing. But, yeah, overall, you do have this determination to see it through, and it will be seen through, and, it is sort of the long term, yeah.